You know, your Wi-Fi is under attack. But this isn't some shady hacker thousands of miles away. No, the call is coming from inside the house. So yeah, let's dive into this super common, super frustrating modern mystery.
Now, before we get our detective hats on, just a heads up, this is the second part of a 10-part tutorial called Invisible Interference. It's all part of a public awareness campaign from RFI Detectives, based on some really cool research from Virtualization Options LLC. And really, it's designed for all of us, the general public, to help us wrap our heads around a problem that, can be anything from a tiny annoyance to something that actually affects our jobs, or even how public safety folks can serve the community.
All right, let's set the scene of the crime. You're home. You're trying to get something important done, maybe something with a deadline, and then, bam, it just stops working. That right there, that's our crime scene.
I mean, it's the question we've all yelled at our computers, right? Why does it always seem to freeze at the absolute worst moment? You're on that critical work call, you're at the climax of a movie, or you're about to win an online match, and poof, nothing. What is going on?
And the evidence? Oh, it's all too familiar. That little spinning circle, just buffering forever. A video call where your coworker's face is frozen in some, ridiculous expression. That gaming lag that makes you want to throw your controller. Or even when your smart speaker just randomly decides to stop playing music. Believe me, it's not just you. These are the classic fingerprints of a much bigger problem.
So to solve this thing, we can't just stare at the router and hope for the best. Nope. We've got to think bigger. We need to widen our investigation. We've got to search the airwaves themselves. Let's take a look at this invisible world that's all around us.
Okay, so picture this. Every single day, billions, and I mean billions of invisible signals are just zipping through the air in your house. They're carrying everything from TV shows to phone calls. It's like this massive, unseen network. And most of the time, it works great. But our investigation, it's all about those moments when things get a little too crowded.
So check this out. This is basically a map of those invisible highways I'm talking about. It's called the radio frequency spectrum. Think of them like lanes on a freeway. You can see there are these nice clear lanes for things like FM radio or for emergency responders. But then, look where Wi-Fi is. It has to share its lanes in a really, really crowded part of the highway. It doesn't have its own private road. It's stuck in traffic with everyone else.
So if our Wi-Fi is getting stuck in a traffic jam on this invisible highway, who's causing the gridlock? Well, it's time to bring in our lineup of the usual household suspects.
Suspect number one, believe it or not, the humble microwave oven. Yeah, that's right. The thing you use to heat up your coffee could be one of the main culprits in our whole Wi-Fi mystery.
And next up in the lineup, we've got the classic cordless phone. Now, if you still have one of these kicking around the house, it is definitely a device of interest, because it operates in the same exact neighborhood as your Wi-Fi. And our third suspect for today is the baby monitor, a device that's supposed to give you peace of mind by constantly sending out a signal, but that very same signal might just be causing some serious digital chaos for everyone else in the house.
Okay, so we've got our suspects. But what's their motive? I mean, why are these perfectly innocent-looking gadgets trying to sabotage our internet? Well, the motive is a classic case of something called interference.
Simply put, radio frequency interference, or RFI for short, is just what happens when one signal messes up another one. The source material calls it digital chaos, and honestly, that is the perfect way to describe that moment your screen just freezes solid. This slide really just lays it all out perfectly. Imagine a crowded playground. Your Wi-Fi has a favorite place to play. It's this lane on the invisible highway, called the 2.4 gigahertz band. But here's the problem. Guess who else wants to play in that exact same spot? Yep, our suspects. The microwave, a lot of cordless phones, and a bunch of baby monitors. They're all trying to talk in the same space, all at the same time. It really is that simple. It's like you're trying to have a quiet, important conversation, but someone is standing right next to you shouting. The signals just get all jumbled up, data packets get lost, and your device has to send them all over again. And that's what causes that awful buffering and lag. It's a digital traffic jam, and your Netflix movie is stuck right in the middle of it.
So the verdict is in. And the culprit? Well, it isn't one single bad guy. It's just a crowded environment. So we don't close this case with an arrest, we close it with awareness.
So here's the big takeaway. Your first steps as an official RFI detective. First, just acknowledge that this whole invisible world of signals is real and it's all around you.
Second, take a look around your home and start to identify those potential suspects. And third, just understand that the real cause behind so much of your Wi-Fi frustration is plain old congestion. Just knowing this stuff, that's your most powerful tool.
So we've pretty much solved the case of the chaotic connection inside your own home. But this invisible world, it doesn't just stop at your front door. Which brings us to our next big question. Now that you know who the culprits are in your living room, what kind of interference is lurking just outside? We're going to investigate that next time.